on, guys?
Not much.
Episode 31.
Yes. Yes.
31.
We will eventually figure this out where we just know it off the top of our heads, yeah.
It'll never happen.
I said eventually. I'm giving us like 100 episodes to do that.
Okay, all right.
So when's the air date for this one? Where are we at now in the calendar?
I mean, this is the week of this is the week after Thanksgiving right now.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yep.
Hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving, and maybe you had people over, maybe you didn't. You know, who knows?
And also, when this comes out, you'll possibly have bought stuff from the Black Friday sales we'll be discussing in the news segment. So, hope you got what you wanted.
If you didn't, that's too bad. Because you don't always get what you want in life.
You don't. Like me.
Words
Every fucking day trying to get a PlayStation 5.
Words to live by from Chuck and W.
It's true words. So today we're doing the remake of Vampire in Brooklyn.
Vampire in Brooklyn remake.
Let's see. So according to you, we're doing. Let's get it all right here. Vampire in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Remake.
So I was forgetting the title of the film, so I was just spitballing.
I know.
For everybody watching.
Vampire in Brooklyn remake. White Vampires in the Hood. That was a good one. Vampire from the Block. Yeah.
I feel like White Vampires in the Hood needs to be made.
I think so. Yeah. That's
Make
the best
Chuck.
one of them.
Yeah, there it is. There's a segment for one of the Door One movies.
Exactly.
Vampire in the Bronx.
Just make sure you call it in the Hood. Go left on that. Don't be the Hood. The Hood.
The Hood.
Yeah,
so Vampires versus the Bronx.
Yeah.
Another 2020 film, and who directed this?
Oh,
somebody did.
Somebody did.
We are prepared. It's a Netflix exclusive. Came out in October, I believe.
Directed by Osmany Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah. Somewhat.
This is me stalling for time for you.
It gets a little compared to Attack the Block, but I don't know if I see that all the way.
I don't see it as much as I honestly do what my wife did. She's never seen it, but she's seen footage online of Monster Squad. I saw a lot more Monster Squad in it than that.
Attack the Block, this is definitely not.
Right.
But did you notice, or did you know who produced this film?
I did not see that.
Lorne Michaels from SNL.
Oh, yeah, I saw that in the credits. Yes, that was weird, yeah.
And I guess one of the guys from SNL was in the cast, like as a minor character.
Probably.
He's playing dominoes on the street at the very beginning.
So is Method Man.
Yeah.
Method Man has
a
character, yes.
Yes.
Well, who did Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy?
I did the exact same thing Chuck did.
She was she owned the nail salon.
Yeah, I missed that completely too, just like Chuck. My wife pointed it out to me.
She was in it for a whole 90 seconds.
Yeah, so like she owed somebody a favor or something, I assume.
I mean, let's be clear. I mean, this is the kind of movie. It's indie. It very much is indie, and you can tell it's indie. It's not star-studded. You know, it's not intending to be star-studded. It doesn't need to be. It's basically intended to be a vampire movie in the Bronx that you can 100% tell is in the Bronx. You know, I mean, that's basically what it is.
So, we got 3 kids
We are
in the Bronx.
So ready.
Yeah, we were talking for like a half hour before this. So we got 3 young kids. The main character, he goes by Little Mayor. And he's just a good kid. He is literally trying to get his favorite store, this little bodega who, I don't know, almost seemed like a father figure to him, saved. Looks like he's getting ready to lose his lease or running out of money, whatever. All the while, there is a company coming in, and essentially they're kind of doing one of those regentrifications where they come into poorer neighborhoods, they buy everything up, and they kind of make it very upscale and hipsterish. So that's what's happening to this place, or to the Bronx.
Credit to the movie for finding a litany of different things to name stores. I particularly liked the cheese shop. That was a good one.
There's some real fucking weird shit in this. And the logo for the company that's coming through and buying everything, the real estate company, is their crest is a picture of Vlad the Impaler.
And their name, which is Burnout Properties, is based off the director of Nosferatu, F.W. Murnau.
Right.
So
foreshadow.
And then there's also that one point where a guy's reading Salem's Lot. I mean, it's there. Like, there's references. It's not like, beating you over the head with it too terribly often with, like, tons and tons of them, but there's references to vampire movies in it.
Pretty sure Sprite sponsored this.
It's possible.
It's very possible.
Hey, the Sprite doesn't save anybody. They dump the Sprite out.
The anti-Sprite movie.
So, in other words, saying it's a Mellow Yellow sponsored movie. No,
it could be. It could be. Sierra Mist.
Sierra Mist. There you go.
So obviously, this company, it's a front for vampires. They're trying to make their own little vampire town, and they straight up say, you know, what better place to go to than someplace where nobody cares if you are here or not. Essentially saying that nobody gives a shit about you and your people and your city, whatever.
Yeah, your borough.
And we sprinkle all this in with the fact that our main boy is got the hots for this girl, and his friends trying to be lured away into gangs, you know, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
All very inner city-ish.
Yes. Well, and there's a girl walking around all the time on like Instagram Live or some shit. And
that was probably
almost narrating the entire film on the scenes that she's in.
I think we should have left her out of it.
I felt like far, but...
when she talked and the stuff she said, which, you know, they're trying to be trendy and they're trying to be cool, it just came across as super cringy to me. Of course, I'm not a teenager, so
you're the exact opposite of a teenager.
Yeah.
When you're as old as you are, it's definitely a little harder to get some of those teenage things.
Yeah, actually I don't necessarily think I love that character, but I bought what she was trying to be because, for God's sakes, have you seen TikTok and like Instagram Live and like not seen it, but just like the stuff that comes out of it. Like, as we record this 2 days ago, Twitter on mobile announced Fleets, which is basically them trying to steal the idea of Instagram and Facebook stories and slap it on Twitter, because you got to have the ability to just post something up real quick and have it be there for like 30 seconds. You know, it's really a thing. Now, whether any of us do it, fuck no. But it exists.
Yeah. They can't leave nothing alone, you know. The only thing I ever liked about Twitter was where they update and give you more space to write stuff. That's the only thing. Still got no edit button. 10 years into the game.
There was a great tweet a couple days ago as we record this where Twitter said, we will give you, legitimately, Twitter support tweeted, if we will give you an edit button when you wear your mask. And everybody went, that's freaking hilarious. People are dying. Just give us the fucking edit button and stop being cute. Basically.
Good for Twitter.
Yeah. So
no, there's different Twitter clients, Chuck, that you can use, and there's an edit button. So essentially, it deletes your tweet, pulls it right back up for you to edit it. Yeah. So word for word, punctuation, everything is there. You edit it, and then you send it again.
Yeah. Okay, as we go back to the movie, though.
Yes.
My biggest beef with this movie is, it's got its moments, but everything's too choreographed. Like, you can see everything coming a million miles away. Like, when the white chick shows up, we all know what's going on with her. Like, sure. We know from the jump what's going on with her. When we see the Sammy Sosa bat, we know where that's going.
Yeah.
You know, why is there a Sammy Sosa bat in the Bronx? Are you from the Bronx? Is that what it is?
Puerto Rico.
Because, well,
there's a heavy Puerto Rican and black population in the Bronx.
Well, I've never been to the Bronx, so obviously I don't know about that sort of stuff. But I thought it was weird that the Chicago Cubs player's bat is being, praised as the greatest thing ever there in the Bronx. But I guess that would explain why.
I mean, actually, I don't know if it's Caribbean at least. We'll go with that. I'm not sure if he was Puerto Rican or a different island, but
well, he's white now, so I don't know if you've seen him lately.
That's the joke he makes. I know he makes a joke about it.
But like, the movie had its moments, but there was a bunch of I felt like there was a bunch of nothing going on at certain times in this thing. things getting dragged out a little bit. Things like you knew where this is going, you knew everything was going to happen from start to finish, in my opinion. So I mean, it's like it was okay for a good watch, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's just nothing new. Like I don't feel like we got any new ground here with it.
I'm not gonna disagree with the fact that we didn't get any new ground or that you couldn't see things coming. I mean, for God's sakes, the minute the logo shows up and it's Burnout Properties and it's got the fucking Vlad the Impaler head on it, what the fuck do you think it is? Basically. But at the same time, like I went into it and saw, oh look, Netflix is telling me this is PG-13, so I didn't expect any blood, first of all.
Yeah.
Which it works, in that way. And then the other thing is, my wife, she's never seen Monster Squad, but the minute she said that, I was like, honestly, kinda.
Oh, it definitely dabs in the Monster Squad.
And if you're going in that direction, like I wouldn't necessarily 100% say family friendly, but family friendly horror comedy, this checks the boxes. I think it's very well done in that way. Does it break new ground? No, but it's good. Like I very much enjoyed it. I wasn't surprised by anything. I do think that they need some help with their flying effects.
Yeah. It's just like it's nothing that I ever really want to see again, though. You know what I mean? It's like I watched it and I'm like, And you compare it to like Attack the Block, people have. I love that movie. I can watch that a lot. I like Monster Squad. I can watch that a lot. But this.
Watched Monster Squad twice today.
Of course, really.
My kids, yeah.
But I feel like maybe this movie wasn't made for me. Maybe it was made for the kids.
I feel like that's a part of it too. Is one of the things I thought when I was watching it was I was like, I know at least, and this is the easiest way to put it. I didn't feel like Host, as an example, was people talking the way people talk. Like the actors were not. I didn't buy that those that were the people would be like real people in the real world.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know people like the people in the movie in Vampires vs. the Bronx, I bought that would be a realistic portrayal of the Bronx. And that kind of helped the movie for me.
I mean, the jokes and things that are made in this movie, which there's a lot of funny fucking jokes in this movie. My wife and I were legitimately cracking up. And I mean, some of these jokes are jokes that my friends and I would make. Like when the Victorian-looking vampire comes out and he's like, "What do you want, Hamilton?" That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would definitely buy this as more realistic than Host for sure. But I legitimately, really, really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the dialogue. Yes, it didn't do anything new. And there was no real violence or gore to it because of the PG-13 rating. But I like.
Did it need it, though?
What's that?
Did it need it though? That was part of my thing. Like that's the thing. I didn't see it. It didn't need it though.
I didn't need it at all. I think that final battle was a little weak, but
I'm not going to go deeply into it, but I will say one character in particular, I was a little pissed off that they didn't go where they could have gone, and instead just sent them away. In that regard, I get that sets up the final thing, but come on, there are ways to do that without doing what they did, basically.
And for any Letterkenny fans, Gay from Letterkenny is in this, which returns on December 26th to Hulu.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but I'm excited. But I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, like we kind of like when they go into the bank and they talk to the one guy and they're so sure what he is and all that stuff. Like, I mean, I've seen that going with that man.
Sure.
It was just like I watched it and I just wasn't really. I mean, is it really? Does it suck? No. It's got its moments, but I don't think it's got enough of those moments to really justify like praising it too much.
I didn't see a Blu-ray or anything of this because I looked for it Monday night. And whenever, I don't know if Netflix does that for stuff, Like, I know
they
the
do
Irish,
sometimes, but not always.
I know the Irishman's getting a release through Criterion, but I don't know if they do that to normal films.
They sometimes do, but usually they don't.
Oh, Criterion's doing Marriage Story as well, or they did. It's already out. That's a Netflix movie. Yeah, but go to Stinky Tuna and get the very nice bootlegs for $10 each.
I may do that because I really fucking like this movie.
I'm going to be honest. I'm in the same boat as him. Like, my thing is, you're right. It didn't reinvent the wheel, but sometimes you don't have to. You know, like, yeah, I don't deny that it didn't break any new ground, and yet I thought it was great. You know. Now, admittedly, the fact that it didn't break new ground, no, I'm not going to go much higher than what I'm going to give it. I couldn't, because like I'm talking to my wife. I'm like, well, you know, that flying effect was really crappy. And I'm like, but then I stopped and I said, honestly, I'm fucking nitpicking because I loved that. I loved that movie. It was good. It was really good. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. At least to me. I mean, I'll start. I'm giving it a 4. Like, it just ticked the boxes, at least for me.
We got Chuck.
Giving it a 2.5.
Jesus Christ.
I told you we were going to have this wasn't what I was talking about, but I told you we were going to have dissension the next week.
Giving it a 4. I really, really liked it. I said, to the point I went to buy it the same night that I watched it.
For the record, I do want to point out, when we decided to do this and the movie we're doing the next episode, I would like to point out we were not setting out to do the white people are bad double feature.
That's what we rounded up with there.
We ended up with it by accident. So just in case anybody, before they see the next episode we didn't do that on purpose. It just happened that way.
I'd never even heard of this fucking movie. James has been pitching it for a few weeks, and
I heard about it online somewhere.
I'm like, cool, yeah, whatever.
Mention it, and I was like, you know, I heard about it online. I was like, sounds interesting. Fuck it, something we haven't talked about. It's new.
And then he told me the title, and I'm like, man, this sounds like some fucking vampires versus werewolves shit.
I was gonna say, it sounds like 10 years ago when they were making Alien versus Predator and Ninjas versus Zombies
And then what sold me is, because if you guys wanted to do it, I'd do it anyway. But what sold me was, you're like, oh, it's being compared to Attack the Block. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and again, I don't know why people are. Just saying out loud.
Because there's kids fighting monsters in
it's got to be that
urban area.
Legit, Monster Squad's a much better comparison to it. Even if it's not on the same level as Monster Squad, it's still a more equivalent comparison.
I had the pleasure of doing a double feature of this with Grooms. And it was this and Huey Halloween or Herbert Halloween or whatever the hell that movie was called. So Adam Sandler may ruin my mood before I watch this. It's possible.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, you watched an Adam Sandler movie before this?
Yeah.
No wonder why you hate this. You were still pissed off at the first movie.
That's what it was.
You dumbass.
Hey, I used to like Mr. Deeds from Adam Sandler.
I hate Mr. Deeds. No, actually, I hate Big Daddy. That's what I hate.
I think I like Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds was like where everything went. Grown Ups wasn't horrible.
Was he in? What else was he in? He done a couple good ones, right? Like, you know, not
he lost. Typical... I liked Happy Gilmore. I liked Waterboy. That's about the end of my line with Adam Sandler.
I want to see Uncut Gems.
Yeah. Did he do 51st Dates?
Yes, he did. Not for nothing. You might want to look at the price of it on Amazon right now, W.
I want the 4K.
Oh, just saying.
The Blu-ray's like $9.
If that, I think it's cheaper than that as we're recording this.
Well,
but,
if you have a Family Video, they're $5 at Family Video on sale, used right now. Blu-ray.
You could also go to their website and save the video store with their T-shirts.
Oh yeah, well they got a thing. Mine says "Save the video store by CBD" is what it says on the sign, but I don't see no Family Video shirts in store. And the one from a few towns over went out of business. So I feel like the days are numbered on mine.
Well, what's going to happen is the same exact fucking thing that happened earlier this week. As I'm recording this, I texted it into the group chat that Tower Records is coming back as an online store. Oh. Family Video is probably going to move all their operations online, and that's what they're going to do for the rest of their run.
Yeah.
Which is fucking sad, but hey.
Well, that's how things are, I guess.
Anyway, at the least of the three of us, at least I imagine Chuck still thinks it's a decent movie. Maybe not as good as we do, but he still thinks it's a decent movie. So it's you could do worse things for an hour and 27 minutes of your time or so.
Much worse. You could watch whatever Adam Sandler movie Chuck watched.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when I heard, that was the other thing, is one of the reasons I was also really interested in it was I heard all this stuff about Hubie Halloween, and that was the big, that and like what was The Haunting of Bly House, were the two big, hey, look, here's our horror stuff for Halloween, and I'm like, this movie over here, no one's talking about this movie over here. Is there a reason why? Like, I heard good things. Why are we pitching Hubie Halloween so hard?
Is that the Adam Sandler thing?
That's the Adam Sandler thing.
That's the one.
What is it, Chuck?
Worse,
Let's go ahead and tell me, what is it?
What?
Quick, the Chuck Connery review of Hubie Halloween. Quick, go.
Oh, well, it's just dumb. I mean, it's just straight up dumb. And they they have the whole thing where it's all the old characters from the other movies have little cameos in it, but you got a crazy person or whatever, looks like they've escaped.
So you're saying Rob Schneider's in it?
Yeah, everybody's in it. Stiller, somebody escapes the mental institution. Things start happening, people start disappearing, and you think it's one thing, you think it's another thing. There's a bunch of red herrings, and it's just very dumb Alabama-ish comedy. Alabama.
And coming from a Tennessean, that's saying something.
Yeah. I have a feeling that Mr. Beard here would absolutely despise this movie, which I almost want him to watch it just so I can ruin his day with it. Like, I feel like you should watch it.
I don't think I want to do that.
He'd probably instantly cancel his Netflix subscription.
I am not touching that movie with the 10-foot pole.
Oh, Groom thought it was great. He's sitting there laughing at it. I'm looking at him like, you think this is funny?
Well, I mean, come on now. That's Grooms.
I would say you can tell we're tired because we're not finishing that punchline there.
I mean, there's too many punchlines to make with him.
Exactly.
I like the guy, but come on. I just bought Uncut Gems for $6 on Blu-ray. I can't find the listing.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I can't find a listing for the 4K. Couldn't find it.
That's what I was telling you. Do it.
It's there. 4K, is it?
There was. I swear there was, because it was in my it was on my wish list, and it's not there anymore.
Look here, boys. 4K, is it good? Yes, but it's not worth upgrading everything and just holding out for. If you can get a good Blu-ray, get it for $6. Go ahead.
Hang on, let me see what I can do for you here.
And while you're at it, you can skip this because this was a disappointment. Review coming on my channel, probably already up by the time you see this.
I'm seeing
so he promotes his channel on this show, but he doesn't promote this show on his channel.
I didn't say
Real
what
dick
my channel
move,
was.
Chuck. Real dick move.
Oh God.
Hey, when was the last time you tweeted on the Exorcast account, W?
Listen, my Twitter client is solely stuck on Wario 64's account. Because he's constantly posting when PlayStation 5s are up on what site and where they're at. So when I log on to Twitter, that's all that I see.
I'm just messing. I just wanted to give Chuck a moment of defense briefly on that. But
I mean, in my defense, that's where it's at. Because that's what my wife even was like, yeah, go ahead and buy a PlayStation 5. So it's like, if she would have told me no, I'd probably have 4 of them. Selling 3 of them on eBay for $1,200 a pop. But she told me yes, and I can't get a goddamn one.
So there's a 4K digital, but there's no 4K physical, to my knowledge.
Okay.
That's what I'm finding so far.
This PS5, this is the thing that is going to keep kids and parents up in cold sweats all holiday season.
So there was a point, I don't think I sent this picture to you, about 3 days after the PS5 came out, where my friend who still manages the GameStop 5 minutes from here posted on Facebook, literally a block of text this long. It just said, do you have the PS5 in stock? 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 Just all the way down until the ending where it's just the shot of, the guy from something like just rocking back and forth, basically. Yeah, they're not having a good time right now in retail, no.
You could always go get that big, bulky Xbox,
For the record, I still love that Xbox had to tell people that they shouldn't smoke their vape smoke through the Xbox Series X. I'm serious. She had to tweet that out, and they tweeted it as if literally saying, "We cannot believe we have to say this, but do not blow vape smoke into your Xbox One Series X."
Why were they doing such a thing?
So the way it's structured, they have a vent on the top, like a big vent, and people discovered that they can like float a ping pong ball over the fan push out of it, and so people were kind of trying to like figure out ways to do that basically with that as well. And they're just like, "Fucking no, man! Why would you do that?
Jesus.
Stop it!"
Going by the online stuff I've seen, it appears that PS5 has won this round because I ain't hardly heard anybody say anything about the Xbox.
Define win. That's the thing.
That's
like,
what
well, no, it's this. PS5 is what you buy if you want to buy games. Okay, because PS5 has a bunch of games that are exclusive to it in addition to other stuff. Xbox One Series X has some games, but in terms of originals and unique stuff for themselves, they don't have anything. They're basically there as a system that lets you do Xbox Game Pass, a 4K Blu-ray player, a 4K streaming machine. They're more interested in you using them as a out-of-date PC that you use for 4K streaming than they are interested in you using it for like 20 new exclusive Xbox One Series X titles, basically.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be the Exorcast if the phone didn't ring in the background, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Someone should get that.
Someone will probably get that. So.
But anyway,
nonetheless.
Let's segue into news, some of which will be woefully out of date by the time this episode airs, since it'll be about Black Friday. But who cares? Severance talked more about their Black Friday stuff. We were both right and wrong in our ideas about what their plans were, basically. But what they've basically said is an awesome thing, a weird thing, and a what the hell are they thinking thing, in a way. Which is they're doing the awesome thing, which is a single on its own release of Tales of the Uncanny, the Ultimate Survey of Anthology Horror. It is a feature-length documentary about the history of anthology horror. The release on Black Friday will come with 3 entire films. The regular release will have 2, but the Black Friday exclusive will have 3. Those 3 tales from 1919. It's a silent fucking film. Unusual Tales from 1949. 2K scan on that. And then the Black Friday exclusive will come with the 1965 movie Master of Horror. And so basically for the price of whatever it's going to be to get it, you'll get on Black Friday 4 movies, basically. The documentary and 3 whole anthologies. I don't know what the heck they're doing one. It would be Castle of the Creeping Flesh. It's a choice. It's certainly a choice. Apparently, Jess Franco's an uncredited writer on it. That's about the only real connection to their usual shit I could say. It has nothing to do with anyone involved in Theater Bazaar, but it's a thing. It's a 1968 movie. It'll be out on Blu-ray, limited exclusive slipcase on Black Friday. And the what the hell are they thinking one, that would be, well, the answer to the Richard Stanley question appears to be that they're releasing H.P. Lovecraft's The Color Out of Space on actual, real, purple audio cassette tape, as read by Richard Stanley.
What happened to Dust Devil?
They still have, as we're recording this, they still have one more thing to announce.
Okay.
So, in theory, I would say that would be where that would be their holy shit last thing they do. But at the same time, like, they're doing a reverse Vinegar Syndrome in essence, in which Vinegar Syndrome 2 months before is like, hey, look, Beastmaster and Fade to Black and Forgotten Jolly, and oh yeah, there's 2 other movies that we're gonna do down the line, and then they're like, hey, here's Theater Bazaar. Okay, cool, we knew that was coming. Tales of the Uncanny, we knew that was coming. Here's Plague Town, Attic Expeditions, a book on tape, and everyone's like, okay. Like, if you have some really earth-shattering thing, you're kind of burying the lead on it, basically. But is what it is.
So are we just supposed to listen to this tape, or is there going to be an audio, like a digital version?
So it's going to be a purple physical tape like legitimate cassette tape, and will also come with a digital download.
Okay, well, so the tape's just there, just for looks. Like most people who bought VHS tapes, it's just there just for looks. Nobody's actually going to play it.
Hey! It has a slip cover, sir.
Oh,
it has a slip cover, sir. They also announced just before we went on to record the Jess Franco Christmas tree topper.
There you go.
Just for that last touch of your holiday spirit.
They should do a Anthropophagus.
Oh God, yes.
Tree topper, and the guts can like kind of go around like the top layer.
Garland,
like Garland, yeah.
Garland, yeah. Or just do it, and then you can take the red one, or they just make one that's regular, and then you can just have a hook inside the mouth, and you yourself can buy red Garland and just hook it in there and just go all the way around the tree.
Severin, do it. All you got to do is give me one, and I won't take any money from it.
License to print money, Severin. Come on now. Vinegar Syndrome hasn't really updated anything in terms of the sale, apart from the fact that right now the site is down to prep for it. Trying to think of any other big deal things. I mean, that's really it. I mean, Synapse announced today that Massacre at Central High is apparently coming out on Steelbook, and by coming out we mean available now, basically.
What the fuck even is that? I don't even know.
I don't know, and that's why I'm like, what? Great, sure, but whatever kind of thing, you know, like.
I've heard about them for a long time, but I've never actually, you know, I don't really know what it's about. I assume there's a massacre at Central High, though.
I would imagine. It would not surprise me in the latest bit if it was.
Yep.
In other news, Kevin Williamson announced today, as we record this, that the 5th Scream film is apparently wrapped and is going to release in January 2022. So they're hanging on. They're trying to hang on to it, I guess, because of pandemic.
2022.
You heard me. Yeah. And in addition,
nobody's gonna care in 2022.
A, B, the 5th Scream movie, because horror movie's gonna horror movie, is going to be called Scream.
Boy. Just like, I didn't like Halloween being called Halloween the last time they did that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, they missed a chance to do Scream where the S is 5.
Yes. For cream. 5 cream, basically.
Yes.
For
cream.
Yeah, I've heard that, I always liked what people would call the other one Scriforum. But
they're going to kill Nev Campbell in the opening credits. You heard it.
Well, that's the other thing. Okay, say what you will about Halloween naming itself Halloween. At least the concept was that movie happened after the first movie. You know, Laurie Strode's in it, but she's intentionally older, and you know, a grizzled veteran of dealing with Michael Myers in essence.
Look here, Nev Campbell was killed in the opening credits. Courtney Cox's character is the killer. If it ain't that, Nev Campbell's killer.
He said. He termed it, quote, the exact wording was a relaunch. Yet this movie has Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, and you're going to have to, I haven't seen Scream 4. Is Marley Shelton or Marley something in that?
I haven't seen Scream 4 in about however long it's been since it came out.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
There's a Marley of some kind. Also
I think it's the best one since the first one.
But the
second one wasn't good.
Relaunching with the same characters that have been in it the whole time.
Well, you got to kill them off really quick.
So
yeah, but
James, let me ask you this.
Scream 4.
Let me ask you this: Are they relaunching it?
That's what they think. So they say.
Yeah.
So they say.
They're doing it. They're like, well, we call it just Scream. It's new.
Yeah, just like Halloween, right? Yeah, they can do the same thing they did. Yeah.
Well, look here. Halloween had to renege on a mistake when they killed Laurie Strode in Resurrection. Y'all remember that horrible movie with Busta Rhymes? I know we tried to forget it, but we remember it. Okay.
Yeah, we reviewed it, sir.
You go through all that stuff, and you kill off like this iconic lead character in the opening credits. They're going to do the same thing here, I'm pretty sure.
Again, people have legitimately been thinking they were going to do that in every single movie of this franchise since about 3 or 4.
Those that do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
I mean, if they do it, great, more power to them. But
I very much enjoyed reviewing that because Gojo Monster made the picture of Busta Rhymes with the Vincent Renfield face paint on. And I got to show him that on air. That was great.
Yeah.
Incidentally, Scream Movies, the Facebook page for the Scream franchise, decided to put that quote on there with a tag saying it was from Kevin Williamson, quote, creator of the Scream franchise. The same quote, for the record, from Kevin Williamson says, at its very beginning, the official title of the next film, Scream, nearly 25 years ago, when I wrote Scream and Wes Craven brought it to life. So I'm not blaming Kevin Williamson for this. Who the hell at Scream Movies decided to just write creator on that when he says in the quote that Wes Craven made the fucking movie? I don't know. Anyway.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, also, this is the same guy that wrote Halloween H2O, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
No. All those trendy movies of the
Kevin
time.
Williamson, so I was listening to a podcast about The Faculty earlier today, and all I'm going to say is just the 90s gonna 90s in terms of teen movies and horror.
Yeah.
Like, I love the 90s. The 90s was goofy as shit sometimes in those kind of movies, but there was a lot of crap that came out during that time, and Kevin Williamson was behind a decent chunk of it. He just was. Like, in fact, just for shits and giggles, real quick. So Kevin Williamson's specifically writing credits are literally going to basically be, he was in essence. So right now, let's see. As a director, he directed Teaching Mrs. Tingle, if you recall that movie, which was
Then they killed the teacher. Yeah.
Yep, with Katie Holmes. Yeah, it's fine. Writing wise, he has a writing credit on Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream 2, The Faculty. He has a character credit on Scream 3. He wrote Cursed, the Wes Craven movie.
Yeah.
He wrote Scream 4. Lots and lots of TV. He wrote the Scream TV series. He was the creator of The Following, which the first season I know was at least halfway decent on TV. But basically, Kevin Williamson's entire career is he launched the teen movie craze of the 90s and then banked on Scream for the entire rest of his life.
The Scream TV show was at least good during the first season. It got a little weird, I think, during the second season. But I can't comment on third because I've not watched it. The Halloween special, it was terrible, though. Keep in mind, the first two seasons in the Halloween special has no Ghostface, by the way. It has something weird.
Bates Motel doesn't start with Norman Bates being a killer. The series, that is.
No, it's, yeah.
They do what they do.
I never finished that.
This show takes place. I don't even know if this series takes place in the same world as the original Scream movies.
Not for nothing, but as we're recording this, hey W, Beat Records Company presents the outstanding score to the classic giallo Amok, composed by Tio Usueli, available for pre-order now on vinyl.
Y'all still doing the record thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just gave up on tapes. We didn't give up on record thing.
Just got this guy in the mail.
Yeah.
Oh God! 9 minutes left. 9 minutes ago from Dawn of the Disc, as we record this. New title announcement from, I believe, Vinegar Syndrome. My clues are weak. Fuck it. Black Friday Vinegar Syndrome Archive. The newly restored hidden 80s gem, Action USA, will release on Collector's Edition Blu-ray on November 27th. Starring Gregory Scott Cummins, Ross Hagen, William Smith, Cameron Mitchell, Hoke Howell.
What movie did you say?
You're thinking of Invasion USA is what you're thinking of.
Okay, no.
Yeah, Action USA, which supposedly they've been touring this around for a bit. It's supposed to be kind of one of those crazy 80s action movies, in essence.
Oh, but it's got Mac's dad in it.
Is it supposed to be like the Miami Connection?
Yes. I wouldn't go as far as Miami Connection, but that's what they're trying to make it out to be. So apparently, as we're recording this, Vinegar Syndrome just announced that's one of their Black Friday titles. It's their Vinegar Syndrome archive title.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Gregory Scott
Directed
Cummings.
by John.
Hey.
Anyway, that's honestly. I mean, anybody else have anything? Because I don't really have very much else in terms of news because everything's pretty much in a holding pattern. I mean, they announced that they're releasing Wonder Woman 1984 in theaters and on HBO Max at the same time on December 25th.
Oh.
Well, I mean, we'll see how that goes. I know Justice League got a new trailer finally. Apparently, it's got 4 new minutes. The movie does. All the other footage was shot and just not used, apparently. And of course, they took that $70 million and hyped up the CGI again.
Well, I was say, have you seen what everybody's been talking about that?
What, Steppenwolf, the way he looks?
Steppenwolf, yes.
He looks interesting.
Pincushion, the villain.
Well, he looked terrible in the other one. So,
now he's real terrible.
I've heard rumors about this movie. Okay, first of all, have you guys seen Justice League, the first cut?
No.
No interest.
Never mind then. Never mind then.
Say what you want. Say what you want.
Okay. Well, okay. In the Justice League that I've seen, obviously they're having trouble whooping Steppenwolf's ass until Superman finally comes back resurrected and basically saves the day. I heard the rumor in this movie that apparently this guy is supposed to actually kill the Justice League, which makes Flash do his little reverse run thing, go back, and then they beat him, which I think is a waste if that's true because, see, Steppenwolf, he's not the Thanos of the DC universe. That's Darkseid, the other guy coming after this guy. So if that's true, I just want to say that's highly, highly disappointing to hear.
Did you like the first one?
No, I did not. It was a miss.
Did you think that the Zack Snyder cut was going to improve it in the first place?
I thought it might be a little better. Because here's the problem. Like, I like Zack Snyder's movies. I love The Watchmen. I like 300. Stuff like that. I like the remake of Dawn of the Dead. But the thing is he wanted to do a whole darker tone with DC movies, which I understand that's what he wanted to do. And maybe it didn't necessarily work as good as everybody wanted to. The biggest problem with Zack Snyder DC movies is he fits 3 whole movies into one movie. Like, Batman vs. Superman had like 3 whole movies worth of stuff crammed together. And I only assume this happened because they were trying to catch up in Marvel, so they tried to just shove everything together and get to the good stuff quick. And I feel like that's probably what's happening with this Justice League movie. Although the Scott Whedon one just seemed very incoherent because you could tell some of it wasn't his, and some of it you could tell what was his, the comedy stuff. And then you also had Superman with very bad CGI, mustache removed. So that was Justice League. I've seen it in theaters, and let me tell you that as bad as that CGI mustache or mustache removal is on 4K and Blu-ray, you should see it in theaters.
Ooh.
Because the guy who plays Superman just could not shave his mustache.
Well, you know why he couldn't, right?
Making a Mission Impossible movie, right?
Yeah. They wouldn't let him, basically.
Wouldn't it have been easier to put on a fake mustache than it would have been the CGI off mustache?
It would have been easier just to fucking delay production for a bit until he could shave it.
Well, I mean, you got to remember, this is the movie that made basically all the guys quit that was under DC contract. Ben Affleck didn't want to do with it no more. None of that. Now all of a sudden they're all back on board now. Everyone was back with it.
Yeah, because how much money did he give him to do this, and how much of that money you think is actually going to Ben Affleck and stuff? Oh yeah.
I don't mind Ben Affleck as Batman. I know a lot of people don't like him as Batman, but I don't mind him as Batman.
I know nothing on that one.
The only time I've ever seen him in a DC movie was when I watched your copy of Suicide Squad, and he was sitting there talking to the lady at dinner, and that movie was fucking terrible.
Yeah, well, you should watch Batman vs Superman. It has.
You know what? I bought it on Black Friday on Blu-ray 3 years ago for $5.
Haven't watched it.
I've never taken another shrink wrap.
I'm a big fan of comic book movies, though, so that's why I watch these things. I used to be a big comic book nerd back in the day, which is why if Steppenwolf actually kills any members of the Justice League in this movie before it gets, flash pointed out of existence, then I'm not happy with it.
I was a big Marvel fan, and that's why I don't like Marvel movies.
I love Marvel too, but the Flashpoint movie is something to get excited about because we already know we're getting Michael Keaton's Batman back in that one.
That's fun. I might, if you get a digital copy of that, I'll watch it.
I think Yes, I think Debbie and I are both in the same boat of excited about it, huh? Really? Okay.
Yeah, because like, see, they're doing the smart thing. They're doing what Marvel is probably going to be doing in their next wave of movies. Is they're making it so that you got different realities. So that way, every single Marvel movie you've ever seen is canon, and every single DC movie or show you've seen is canon. It's just a different universe. So, I just bring on the extra Spider-Man, and the next Spider-Man movie will be good. Get old Tobey Maguire back suited up. That's how road he is now.
I'd rather have Andrew Garfield.
You'll get him too if they do it the way they're talking about doing it. So, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be Spider-Man 3 or not, but I mean, since the Spider-Verse cartoon did so good, they're all about.
They're doing a Spider-Verse 2. They've already said they're doing that.
So. Yeah, well, I mean, they're all about getting all the. Well, Doctor Strange's next movie is the Multiverse of Madness, so they're all about getting.
Supposedly, they were gonna make that really horror-y, and then the guy who was gonna do that, I think he left.
Ain't Sam Raimi doing it now?
Yeah, Sam Raimi, I think, was who they ended up picking up afterwards.
Oh,
and so if they're gonna let him be Sam Raimi instead of let him be Spider-Man Sam Raimi, okay.
That's where you'll probably get Deadpool, because he'll get pulled out of some other multiverse. That way they can just take him and leave all the other characters. Because if you bring all the other characters over with you, then you've already opened a can of worms when it comes to all the X-Men with Fox and all that stuff.
Does Disney own that now?
Yes. Disney owns far too much. Disney owns Deadpool.
They own the Fantastic Four. They own, Deadpool now, X-Men. They own it all. And I'd imagine if Hugh Jackman and all of them would agree to come back and do their characters again, we would have just plucked them, out of their multiverse, but now we're going to have to start over, apparently. Which, apparently, from what I'm hearing, is you're going to see X-Men characters randomly popping up in the next few Marvel movies to lead to the first X-Men movie.
Well, I mean, Hugh Jackman said he was done with playing Logan.
Yeah.
He said he got his one movie that he actually wanted, and now he's done.
Yeah, which sucks. Of course, Ryan Reynolds been begging him to come back, but I'm sure
if he comes back, it's going to be in the next Deadpool movie.
Yeah, I'm sure. Of course, by that time, I mean, who else is going to be Wolverine now? Like you always wonder who's they going to pick to be Wolverine. Tom Hardy? Maybe they can't. He's Venom, right? So,
is he though?
Yeah, he's Venom. Is it Tom Hardy? It's Tom Hardy, ain't that his name? Mad Max?
Tom Hardy. Yeah.
We are bored and have
nothing to talk about. It's now the comic book section of Exorcast. Yep. Well.
With that, because we have literally nothing else to talk about, right?
I don't watch comic book movies.
I watch some, and only if I really feel like it. So.
Well, it's okay. Watchmen was the greatest one of all time.
No, but that's beside the point.
It's a good movie. It's a great movie.
It's a good movie, but no.
You gonna pick Dark Knight?
No.
Oh. What is it? News Finder.
I'd say you could make a better list, including things like Batman Returns. I like Batman Forever, but I'm weird like that. I know that that's not anybody else's favorite movie.
Now, Tom.
I've never even heard of that movie. What was that?
Batman Forever.
Batman what?
Forever.
Huh?
Batman Forever. It's where Batman had nipples, right?
No. I think Batman had nipples in the one afterwards.
Oh,
I don't recall.
I bet, yeah. I
don't recall.
Black Panther, actually. Black Panther, actually.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty damn high up there, actually.
I've never seen it.
Now? Well, they're in a predicament now.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's a good movie. That's all I'm saying.
I bought Wonder Woman for $5 on Black Friday for my wife. I've never watched it.
Not bad.
It's worth it.
It's one of the better ones. I haven't watched Aquaman yet. I've got Aquaman.
Aquaman's pretty good.
I'll watch. You know what I'll watch? I'll watch Black Adam.
Well, you should watch Shazam. It's not too bad either.
Shazam's decent.
All these movies are on my movie account there, Beard. You ought to get on there and just go through them one day and just watch them all.
You know what? I got on there for the first time this past week in like 3 months, and I really didn't see too much in there new, Chuck. You were fucking slacking, man.
Disappointing. There's a bunch of new stuff in there. New Bill and Ted's in there.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. That just showed up in the last couple of days.
It showed up last week.
Probably right after I was in there. Otherwise, I'd have already watched it.
It's there. It's waiting for whoever to watch it that wants to watch it. Me and my community voodoo account.
I know James has got my voodoo login.
Yeah, I do.
We all share and share alike when it comes to these such things.
Oh, of course, yeah.
The only thing is that all the movies in my voodoo account, bar maybe 5 or 6 of them that Chuck gave me, I bought them all.
Of course, yes. All the movies in mine are the same way. With the exception of Dr. Sleep, which I won in that contest.
10 movies. I gave him free 10 movies. He don't appreciate it.
Which ones? Do you know
like
which ones
Moonrise Kingdom and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. You're
he
suggesting
he said, here's the code for the 10 Blumhouse movies. And I'm like, cool, because I've not seen Happy Death Day and the sequel and a handful.
It was supposed to be.
And I got fucking Moonrise Kingdom, which I'll probably watch, which I have on DVD, and it's a good movie. It's whatever.
Lost in Translation.
Lost in Translation is a great film. It's a great film. I love Bill Murray.
Spotless Mind.
The Departed, I think.
No,
I don't know.
Brokeback Mountain. Harriet Tubman, which I'll probably end up watching that. And then some other shit.
Burn After Reading, I think.
Yeah, it was
stuff like
hot garbage.
But, it's like, this was...
Got my hopes up. He got my fucking hopes up. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch this. And my wife's like, oh, I want to watch that. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. Here we go.
This came out of the Blumhouse package. I'd opened my Spotlight one, and I redeemed them. And I was like, I did redeem them, swear to God. And then I opened the other one, and I was like, well, I've got all these. So I was like, here, you can have them. And it was the same 10 movies. If you go to my account, you'll see the same 10 Spotlight movies that you got because they give me 2 voodoo codes for the 10 Spotlight movies.
I know. I saw them the other day.
So I'm just...
And I said, that goddamn Chuck.
I just want to check on something here. Did you just say you haven't seen Happy Death Day?
No.
I don't hate it.
Well, no, I mentioned that because neither have I. But I bought a Blu-ray of it. And it's in my voodoo.
I got upset because I really was like, okay, I'm going to watch this. And then we were in the theaters and I saw a trailer for Happy Death Day 2. And it's like, you just fucking showed me the entire first movie.
Like I said, if you want to see it, I've got it on my voodoo. My voodoo.
I might do that.
I think.
It's on Chuck's voodoo too, yeah. So I'm logged into mine on the Apple TV and I'm logged into Chuck's on the PlayStation.
I get anxiety seeing.
Welcome to behind the scenes of Exorcast.
This whole Groundhog Day stuff. I get it. I don't know. It frustrates me seeing the same thing over and over and over and over and over like that.
What are you talking about?
It's weird. Just seeing the same thing play out over and over and over.
He's saying the concept of Happy Death Day to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Or Happy Death Day is.
Watch Triangle.
Yeah, that too. Triangle would be the same kind of thing. Yeah.
I've seen Triangle's old.
Very old.
It is old.
Like 15 years old.
Hey, it's old.
Do you have Freaky yet, Chuck?
Huh?
Do you have Freaky yet, since apparently that's the new hotness?
I don't think so.
Isn't it the Vince Vaughn movie?
Yeah, that's the Vince Vaughn Freaky Friday comedy horror comedy that everyone's kind of like, oh wow, this is the next great slasher. Look, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know.
We're still on the air. We're still in the air. I forgot to complain about something.
No.
Seth Rogen is stealing my idea.
Oh yes, right, yes.
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
So I am being ripped off, but see, nobody wants to say Chuck Connery is getting ripped off. They want to say, well, he's ripping off Final Girls. Well, there's a difference in Final Girls and a difference in Door 1, 5 Doors to Hell, because Final Girls was a movie, like a theater movie. Door 1, 5 Doors to Hell was a cursed VHS tape that you get sucked into, and you become part of the tape if you don't get out of it. This is the same thing this boy's doing, but the only thing, that's mild spoilers. The only thing different that Seth Rogen is doing is just one movie. It ain't like a bunch of segments. So, I want my check.
Hey, fight him for it, man.
Yeah, okay.
Fight him for it. Finish your 4K restoration of Morbid with it.
Hey, I sent him a tweet. I was like, hey, that sounds familiar. You got to watch my movie if you haven't already. I sent him the trailer. I sent him the trailer. He didn't say nothing, obviously. But
if he responded, send him a Blu-ray.
Yeah. But, no, my friend bought this program that, I don't remember the name of it. It's a fancy program. but it upgrades everything from like up to 4K. It upgrades everything up to 8K. And I was like, well, 8K is too much. So let's do a scan of Morbid in 4K to see how it looks. And it was improved upon. So
it did.
That's probably the next version you see. Not that it'll be a 4K, but you'll probably see at least a 4K scan, unless you see it online on demand. Then you might see a 4K. So there you go. That's all my news.
That?
I don't know.
Something on Chuck's end.
Seth Rogen.
He's just like the static.
Yeah.
The Exorcast static.
But it's okay for static. I mean, it's Exorcast tradition. We used to have a hum in the background throughout all the shows because of my microphone. My microphone used to hum all the time.
Did it?
When we did that. Yeah, on the audio shows.
Oh, that's right, it did. We thought it was your fucking refrigerator.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows what it could be, because I used to podcast right next to the refrigerator. But yeah. So that's our episode. Yeah. We still got to record one more.
I'm gonna cut the last half hour.
Honestly, probably we will. Yeah, well, there'll be an edit somewhere in here. Maybe you'll hear us talking about some things. Maybe you won't.
Just cut out all the comic book talk because nobody.
Yeah, there you go. Cut half the comic book talk. You'll be good to go. But that's our show.
That's it. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you guys bought some stuff, and I hope by the time you've seen this, I hope I have a PlayStation 5. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Take care. Like, share, subscribe, all that shit. Bye.
All that stuff.
All of it.